All right, so Lee Conn, president of Motus Motorcycles. Good to see you here. Glad you're making it to Tennessee.
Well, we're happy to be here.
Just going to give you 3 quick questions
Sure,
here.
yeah.
Kind of interested to know what the cocktail napkin story was behind this. You know, what was your moment where you guys decided, hey, this is what we need to do, and what came about to make that happen?
So it's funny you say that because it really is a cocktail napkin story where and we tell the story, but it actually happened where we had a long ride and ended up the ride where people typically do, sitting around a picnic table at a, having a little beer or something, and people just started talking about this ultimate bike. For the age we are, for the kind of riding we do, for where we're at in our career path and those kind of things, what if we could snap our fingers, what would the coolest bike look like and sound like?
Yeah.
And so we just started coming up with these parameters, and people just writing it down. Okay, we want a huge torquey engine. We like torque.
Yep.
We're not racers, we're road riders. We want a big huge tank where we can go far and not have to stop all day long. Keep going. Comfortable seat with a low seat height, compact small motorcycle, side cases big enough to carry full face helmets, some wind protection, preferably adjustable. So we came up with all these parameters, and then we just looked at them, and very frankly we just said, well, that's weird because we didn't even really know we wanted a sport tour. That's what people generally call sport tours, but in our mind, I always thought of a sport tour. I've never really even considered buying a sport tour. I've had tons of Harleys, I've had tons of crotch rockets, I've had Italian bikes, I've had a lot of different motorcycles, and each one of them was perfect for its particular application. But when you really start looking at what all a sport tour can do, it checks a few boxes.
Yep.
So, and two, for us, a lot of the sport tours that are out there just didn't appeal to us, and for all their own reasons. So we just looked at it, and Brian was finishing up his design and moving on from Confederate. He was a designer there, and I had sold a business that I had started when I was about 23, and we just started teaming up, trying to figure out, is there a business case? The economy was completely blown up. It was 2008, everything had gone completely crazy, and that opened up an incredible amount of doors for us, because those bikes that you see in there, they don't have anything out of the catalog. It's not a Tucker-Rocky catalog, pick these wheels and pick these brakes. Everything on there comes directly from the factory. So without exception, each one of those manufacturers told us, every one of them said, 5 years ago we would never even answer the phone for you guys. How many crazy people are calling there saying, we're going to build a new American bike? And a lot of those places, when you call them saying you're building an American bike, they think cruiser, chopper, or whatever, and sometimes that's appealing to them, and sometimes they don't want to have anything to do with that. So first of all, we had to cross the bridge of, A, did we have any credibility? No. B, did we have any resources? Very limited. And were we going to build, what was the bike going to be? So we didn't build a model. A lot of motorcycle companies build some big model, a non-running model, and then they try to engineer something, to make that certain look. And we didn't do that. We just tried to start engineering something, and make it as functional and as durable as we could, and then the form really will follow the function. And so it's really cool because now when you look at the bikes, and particularly when you ride the bikes, we didn't cut any corners. The bike that we envisioned back then, these are the bikes. It's exactly what we set out to do, and we didn't cut any corners. We didn't make any compromises. We've engineered exactly in our minds what we wanted, and that part of it's very gratifying, because if we could just step back in time, what we had in mind, man, it's sitting there. And I rode it from Denver yesterday to here today, and you have these aha moments of like, we were riding through, we went from Bonneville to Salt Lake City through the Moab Desert over to Denver. You have to have an aha moment. These big red rock formations. It's just like this picturesque, beautiful thing. And I'm riding through the desert, 100 miles an hour on motorcycles we've been, with everything.
Yeah, you did it. I mean, that's the thing.
We did.
You built that.
Right. We built those bikes, and we'll continue to iterate them and test them. And it wasn't a joyride for us. We were out there testing. It was fun as hell. And I can't wait to go back and do it some more, but that's the thing, is that you have, because these are little tests, there's very few of these aha moments where it's like, we did it because we've just really got to the starting line. We built some prototypes. Okay, they're pretty good. They're not perfect, but they're pretty good. They ride awesome. They sound unbelievable. They're extremely fun and comfortable to ride. But taking the step from having a pre-production full mule test bike to selling motorcycles through dealerships like this. That's a whole different thing. So these aha moments come in very small little gradations, and each one of them is like a little building block. And so that's our next challenge.
Very good. Well, now I've heard you mention a couple of times in there earlier about the 3 aspects that you look for when you were designing the bikes. Can you run that down for our viewers real quick?
Absolutely. So we have a decision tree that we make every decision on the bike, and you can imagine the emails we get from people. You should have done this, or I would have done that, or why don't you do this? And we're very receptive people, and we love hearing from people who are knowledgeable and getting their ideas and incorporating many of those. I mean, we've had a million ideas, and we've incorporated many ideas from fans and friends and experts and non-experts. We're receptive guys, but we have a vision of what we're trying to do, and we're trying to build a really fun, great, comfortable American sport bike. That's what we're trying to build. We're not building hovercrafts. We're not building all these, single thumpers and 3-wheelers, and all that stuff's cool, but that's not what we're doing. So we have to be true to our goal and our vision. And so in doing that, we filter all these ideas that people bombard us with through 3 basic categories. And the categories are performance, comfort, and range. Does it increase the performance of the motorcycle? Yes or no? If that means that, then you go to the next one. Does it increase the comfort to the rider and his passenger or her passenger? Yes or no? Go down to the next one. Does it increase the range on 1 tank of gas? Yes or no? If it doesn't meet those criteria, it doesn't go on our bikes. So that allows us to distill down the essence of what we're doing and put things off to the shelf that just increase complexity, increase weight, increase costs, reduce durability. We just want bulletproof and kick-ass bikes that you can just turn the key and go anywhere and smile the whole way. It's pretty simple.
It's a great philosophy.
It's easy.
Yeah.
If you keep to your principles, it's actually pretty easy.
All right. One other quick question, I'll let you get back to it. I know they're probably waiting on you.
No worries.
Where do you want to be? What's your goal 5 years from now, where you want to be with Motus?
Well, we're breaking it down into little smaller categories than that. Our goal for 2012 is to get into production.
Okay.
So we'd like to make 200 to 300 motorcycles next year, and that's going to be through a network of, let's say, 25 to 35 dealers.
Okay.
So stores like this that we're in, who have invited us to come and have an interest in what we're doing and feel that it's a good fit for their particular store. So that phase 1 is getting into production, which means we've got homologations to do, noise emissions, EPA, CARB, all that stuff, which is it's a major obstacle.
It is. It's literally red tape.
Huge challenges, and people have died on that hill before. Mm-hmm. So we just put one foot in front of the other, and I can't think too far ahead because we have so many challenges right in front of us. Well, here's what I can tell you. We never, at this point, have any intention or goal of being mass producer of motorcycles. We want to hand assemble the greatest motorcycles, not the most motorcycles.
Right.
And we want to be known for a crazy attention to detail, wicked durability, wonderful user experience, premium componentry. We want to really highlight value and character. I mean, the bike just has character. It's different. When you roll up, we were in Monterey the other night at the GP, and we're down on Cannery Row, and all these guys, 1,000 guys in a row, standing there with all these cool bikes. They heard us rolling up on these things, and it was just like a sea of heads saying, "What on freaking earth are those guys riding up on?" And so we stopped. These people just mobbed us, and the level of excitement about something new, something different, just has a different character to it. And there's lots of bikes that have character. Mm-hmm. And usually they come from the smaller manufacturers. Think of a Moto Guzzi.
Yeah.
On paper, that bike doesn't do anything better than any other bike, but it has got a ton of character, and it is a cool motorcycle.
It is.
I'd rather be a cool bike with character than a mass producer any day. So that really is our goal, is to be a low volume, batch manufactured, you're lucky if you get one kind of manufacturer. Real focus on American craftsmanship. And when you get the bike, every piece on it was selected because it's the best you can get. Not because we have to conglomerate and just buy the cheapest stuff to get something out for some low amount of money. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, there's different types of people need different types of bikes for different parts of their lifetime. So you've got Hondas, and you've got Harleys, and you've got MV Agustas, and you've got Motas and Virus, and there's everything is out there. There is something for everybody. What we're doing hopefully will appeal to a real passionate enthusiast.
Yeah, you're not planning on competing on price. You're planning on competing on the quality and the excitement of the bike.
Exactly. I mean, there's guys that don't wear a watch at all. There's guys that wear Timex, great watches. There's guys that wear Casios, great watches. There's guys that wear Rolex, Tag, Breitling, Panerai. There's all of this, and each one of those appeals to a different guy, and he has a different mindset, and he's looking for something different in those watches. So, we hope that there's enough people out there that the idea of a kick-ass, comfortable American sport bike will appeal to. And yes, it's going to be more expensive than a mass-produced motorcycle, but it's also going to be more than the sum of its individual parts, and that's really what we're going for.
Very good. Well, thank you for your time. I know you've been busy. You've been riding across the country. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk with us today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.